Welcome to In Hindsight, where we showcase local New Mexico. We also talk about hot topics and also Are You the A-hole? And I am your host, Day.
My name is Michaela.
I'm Vivek. This is Octo. This is Rito.
And today we actually have a couple of activities that is
Yeah.
coming up, like the business fair on the 22nd that Vivek will be giving us
Yes.
more information of.
Yes. So this is the children's business fair. So that means kids aged from 6 to 16 are the ones who are the entrepreneurs who are putting up their businesses. And it's at the Acton Academy in Albuquerque. The address is 3100 Minol. It's right by Carlisle and Minol. And if your child is interested in actually putting up a business and being an entrepreneur at the fair, there is a boot camp that they can attend, which is April 8th. The information is on the screen. And they can learn about entrepreneurship. I'm helping organize it, and I really love seeing how kids will struggle through the whole journey of entrepreneurship, coming up with an idea. How do you price it? What do you say when you're selling? How do you invite customers to your booth? It's fun to see kids do this
That
at
is super
such a
cool.
young
The
age.
little
Yeah.
tiny, rich entrepreneurs.
Yeah, exactly. And the second one is the drip irrigation workshop. So, springtime, we want to make sure that our yards are fine and dandy for the summer. So these are put up by the New Mexico State University, the agricultural extension, same people as master gardeners. And so on the screen are a bunch of dates and a link where you can go and sign up for them. They're free to attend.
So when you sign in to the website, do they help you with your actual irrigation stuff in your house, or you learn it from that workshop?
So these dates are when the workshops are. What will happen is somebody has offered their backyard or their area to put in an irrigation system, and they're providing the materials. You go and you actually get a hands-on experience on how to do it,
How to set it up?
how
and
to set it
everything.
up.
That's cool.
And you can ask questions, and so when you come back to your house, you can design your thing, and you can put in a system yourself.
Because I know for
Yes.
like New Mexico, especially in the summer with the water,
Mm-hmm.
with the Rio Grande, like having like limitations. Because I know
Yes.
like they divvy up the water specifically for different farmers, right?
Yes.
Because we do have a garden, so I think that would be interesting.
I think it'd be a great workshop to come to. Yeah.
Yeah, because like because like I really don't like wasting water.
Yes.
But I don't want my garden to die.
Oh,
I love my
yeah.
zucchinis and
That's
stuff.
true.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think we're building more planters this year, like the
Okay.
big ones. So we have one, and then we're gonna pretty much just cover our whole backyard. But like I said, it's just like I don't doubt that like our water system is not efficient at all.
Yeah, no, so what you can do is with this workshop, you can learn how to have the drip irrigation for existing trees, for potted plants, for raised beds. So all of that can get covered in it.
And for just to go back,
Yes.
for the children's fair,
Yes.
when is the actual event for
The fair is on April 22nd. It's a Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon.
Okay.
And it's free to attend for people. For the students who are going to be setting up their businesses, it's like a $20 fee so that,
For their
all-
booths and stuff.
For
yeah.
their booths, it's more for like the organizers to know that you're serious about it, right? So that you've
Mm-hmm.
thought it through like that.
And
Yeah, it's like
how long they've been doing this?
This is, I think, the fourth or maybe the fifth. I think this is the fourth year
This
of
is the fourth
Children's
year.
Business
Oh,
Fair.
that's super
Yes.
fun.
I helped organize last year as well, so it was a lot of fun. It was really.
It's like how
fun.
many booths are there? Like how many children usually like groups participate?
So this time the space is for 50 booths, so there'll be 50.
Oh, okay, that's a pretty good amount.
entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's an actual. It's
an
almost like an
actual
actual
event.
expo,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But like with
yeah.
little children.
And it's open air, so it's like it's in the school compound, whatever.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Are they
It's
able
really
to
fun.
like make things and sell their own like stuff?
So yeah,
or-
there are rules. You can't just like buy stuff off of Costco and sell it at the booth. It's not like that.
Yeah.
You have to put in something of your own to be able to.
Yeah.
Oh,
you have to
that's
have because you have to
so
have a
cool.
business plan,
You have to have a
right?
business. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like for example, what my son is doing, he and his friend actually is going to make coffee art, and I was suggesting to him, like add on to it, teach people how to do the coffee art. So
Yeah.
that's a little more
Oh,
engaging. And then my son is going to do Plinko or something like that, like some
Yeah.
carnival games kind of thing. So
No,
That's
I've
really
seen
cool.
Yeah.
you can get stencils now for like coffee art.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, so like
Okay.
you can, I mean, you can't do all the designs, but like
Okay.
you can do like, like chocolate powder. So you put the stencil on top of it and then you
And
kind
then
of
you
just like
sprinkle-
sprinkle the chocolate. But you can't do it for chocolate
For the
drinks.
coffee and like
Yeah.
cream and
Yeah,
the
so
froth, right?
it has
So-
to be like a lighter drink,
Lighter drink, okay.
right? That's like the opposing thing too. And
Yeah.
it's just like, I think it's just really cute. Like, what are the ages of the kids that are participating?
So 6 to 16.
6 to 6. That's
Yeah.
also like
It's a it's a
very.
very range, yeah.
Because 6-year-olds and 16-year-olds business ideas are
Will
like
be different.
Totally
yes.
yeah,
different.
also similar, but yet like
So the what I see is the value of the whole experience for the child. I mean, just imagine, like if you look at now, right? So we had so many tech layoffs. Just there's some
Irrelevant.
estimate like 500,000 people got laid off or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
But if you have your own business, and also the other statistics is that new businesses, they fail at a very incredibly high rate. But imagine a child who has been practicing putting out their business,
Entrepreneurship, yeah.
that entrepreneurship, going through the ups and downs of it as they're going through school, right, year over year. Imagine like the confidence that they'll have. Imagine the mindset that they will have when
Yeah.
they go out in the world.
Yeah.
So
No, I
I
think
think it's a
it's
very cool thing.
no,
yeah.
it is really cool because like
Yeah.
this is one of those things that like you wish you learned in school.
Oh yes, yes.
You know,
I wish
because
I learned that for
Yes,
sure.
I know.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
because when people think like entrepreneurship, like whatever, but like you learn confidence,
Oh, yes.
right? Because like you're gonna have to like present your idea to people. It has to be sound. I mean, even like me, who like I had to have like my business plan and everything.
Yeah.
Even that was like, I mean, I'm like a 40-year-old person, and it was also like already daunting. But just like imagine like a 6-year-old, you know what I mean? Like putting their like little cute idea into like a business.
But also like
plan.
having support and like
You know-
the advantage of like where to do it, people wanting to go.
Yes. Yeah, also, like, so it's accounting. How do you raise your initial capital if there's investment needed?
Yeah. And
Are
you
you
do
going to ask your
research.
parents research, right?
Yeah.
Also, the selling, when people come at the booth, how do you interact with them? There's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much to learn from
Yeah.
the kids.
Like what
so
payment
fun.
are you
That's like-
accepting?
Yes,
Do you know enough to give people change?
right.
You know, because like, I mean, do you know that like how much do you give me if it's $1.50? Do you give me 50 cents? Do you give,
Exactly.
Like, what if
So-
you have $10?
Yeah.
It's math.
It's math.
Science. It's social
So
studies.
are the parents going to be able to help, or is this like all them?
No, so that's the thing, that as a parent, if you in the booth, so there's also like.
I guess I'm talking mainly for the 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Like
No,
the
I
little
mean,
ones.
the little ones, they get support from. They can get support.
They get assistance.
But they get
Gotcha.
assistance.
Gotcha.
But there are also competitions. So you like how well the booth is done, and you will get kicked out of the competition if there's an adult in the booth
Oh my
at any point
gosh,
during the whole
wow.
fair.
Right.
At any point, in
They're
the
So they really have to
strict.
practice.
they have to do it themselves.
Yeah, they don't play around. And also like that's like if you think about it, it's only 9 to 12, but that's 3
It's
hours.
3 hours. Yeah, it's 3 hours.
You know, that's 3 hours just being outside, doing
Like
your
setting up, closing out,
Yes.
all
cleaning
of that
up,
stuff.
talking to customers,
Talking,
Yes.
like trying to sell your
Trying to sell the
product.
stuff. Yes.
being interesting enough to grab like attention.
Also, like the other thing that happens now, your friends have also put up booths, so you want to go see their booth.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now you have to learn. No, I have to
No.
stay at my business. So it's a
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
also comes into play. It's
A
very
lot of
cool
self-control.
experience. Self-control, yes.
No, I think it's really cute to have like a little kids expo.
Yeah. Oh,
love
then
that.
they have to figure out, okay, did I make money or not? Like, when so the business, was the business profitable or not? What can I learn so that I can do it differently next year? All those things come into play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really
100%.
cool.
Yeah, are they like it also like a confidence booster, or they'll learn from their mistakes from the year before.
Yes.
Like if you think about it, if that kid from 6-year-old do this every year, that's 10 years of entrepreneur experience.
That's
I
insane.
mean, that they're their own Gary Vee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Think about it. Because like he'll be like think about like his TED talk. It's like I started when I was 6.
You're like, how?
And like
cool.
when I had my first entrepreneurial ideas,
Yeah.
you know, like at the tender age of 6 years old, you know,
Yes.
that would be a very interesting TED talk. At
I
like
know.
16, and she's like, I've been doing this for 10 years, you know, like
That's
you're just
really
like,
cool.
but you're
Yeah.
only 16.
Yeah. I mean, but this is what the world needs, right?
Yeah.
Like if you think about industrial age, right? We went to school, we all just memorized stuff because so that we could be factory workers, right? Literally, that was
Literally,
that was
work
the
for
school-
someone else.
Yeah.
Work for someone else.
Well, that's the thing too. It's
But-
just like not all of us are meant to work from somebody.
Not
from
all of us
someone,
want
right?
to,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Not all of us want to.
And we're
Yeah.
working to
Yes.
not.
And I think like people think it's just like, oh, you know, when you start your own business, it's risky. And I'm like, it's risky anywhere.
Anything
it's
is risky
risky
at this
even
point.
if you take this job because like it may
can
not
get
be.
fired.
It's more
Yeah.
risky. It's more
Yeah.
risky if you have your own. If you take a job because
You don't
You're
have
now in
control
the hands
over
of
it.
someone else.
like
Yeah.
not just that. So the way I think about it, like so if I'm an employee, there are like 10 different people up the chain from me to the CEO. Anybody could decide, okay, that's it, you're out, right? But if you're an entrepreneur, you have, let's say, 100 customers. All 100 have to say no to you. Only then then you can come up with a new idea, or whatever.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
it's,
I think everything in life definitely is a risk, but like
course, yeah.
I think to like even allow, because eventually we were all children once,
yes.
right? These children were eventually going to be adults, and like I wish like I had like certain sets of knowledge and skills and experience that I have
Yeah.
learned from school, but like I didn't. Like as an adult, you're just fumbling around, and people look at you, and little children look at you like, "You got your stuff together." I'm like, "No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm just really trustable.
I'm just very
I just,
trustable.
I just perfected my outfit and makeup routine. You know, just like most of the time, I don't even know what I'm doing.
Oh my gosh.
You know, so I think like this is like a really. It's not
It's a
just like
great
I
idea.
mean, it is a good idea, but I think it is like. It's also a great idea because like, it's not just the children because the parents are also getting involved on it. You know what I mean? They're also learning from their children.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
The
true.
biggest learning for the adults or for the parents is to allow your kids to actually experiment and fail
And be creative.
and not try to save them, because that's what happens, right? As a parent, you want to save your child.
Trying to control the situation.
Then they don't learn as much.
Yeah,
Then they don't
the
learn
experience.
as much.
I think it's also there's this like thing about like failure. People are just so scared to fail.
Yes.
And it's like it's okay. That's how you learn.
That's
Yeah.
how you
How
learn.
do you
Exactly.
know what not to do, what to do? It's like
Unless you try and see how it plays out.
I mean, you can learn from books and stuff, but it's not
Yeah.
the same as when you have done yourself and you've failed, and then that's the lesson that sticks.
A question I also have with that regarding that, is there like a winner of this, or is it just like a
Yes.
charity
so there is a
event,
like
or-
so like do the people that come in vote for like the best ideas?
So no,
Okay.
there's a judge panel, and
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're doing like public voting this time or not.
Oh, so there's
but
no poll. Oh, it's not a poll, okay.
there is a panel of judges who are all successful entrepreneurs who will come and go visit all the booths, and they will evaluate them on different criteria.
Their own Shark
Fun.
Tank?
So-
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, like, can somebody be like, I'm gonna invest in this little
Yeah, this little
this idea.
this little thing,
Yes.
yeah.
That's
But
interesting.
I was going to say, the last thing I want to say on this is, even if your child is not participating, even if you don't have children, you can come out and support all these kids, right? You can
Yes.
come
Yeah,
to
I'd
the
love to
event
go.
and be their customers.
And I
I'd
think
love to
also it's good for like your children because like they go to this expo and they're like, wait, they're
Inspired.
kids and
I
they're
can
like,
do
dude,
that too.
I
They
can
can
do
get
that
inspired.
too.
They can get
Yeah.
inspired.
Or
yes.
even if like, you know what I mean, they may not do it this year or next year,
Yeah.
but then eventually they have like, oh, I have an idea. I want to
Yes.
do that expo. I want to do that boot camp. It's like,
Really cool.
it's more information,
information,
and more
yes.
options for them.
Exactly, yeah. So
No.
it's childrensbusinessfair.org. That's the website.
Children'sbusinessfair.org. Like just,
And then
Go
for
ahead.
Albuquerque, it's childrensbusinessfair.org/ABQ. It's like-
oh, great.
Very nice.
Cool. Oh,
There we
there's
go.
that's the boot camp, yeah.
There's the boot camp. So everybody check that out. There's,
Yes.
it's fun. It's cute. There's children. You know what I mean? You learn stuff. It's a business. You
That'll
get
be fun.
and
That'll
you
be
buy
fun.
stuff.
Yeah.
I like buying stuff.
Yeah,
So-
especially
Oh,
Mother's Day, things like that are coming up.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can,
exactly.
You can get things like that.
Oh, no.
Easter
Easter.
is a little, yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is after Easter, but yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be kind of cool.
Mother's Day. Yeah.
So we are now segueing for a hot topic. So like, so I'm not quite sure if you guys know or familiar for Jonathan Majors. Right now he's getting really promoted really big because he is in Creed and also Ant-Man, which is like two big movies, definitely.
Yeah.
But there is some domestic violence
Charges.
charges and assault
Pending.
charges pending. And that's the thing, it's just like, I don't care what people say when they're just like, oh, I'm not into like, I don't follow celebrities or whatever. People follow celebrities, but they follow their celebrities.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? So there are, I
Yes.
think like there's certain celebrities that are like just really big, like you can't avoid it. Like if there's a Beyonce news, everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So I think there is this question of like, do you separate the talent to the person, right? Because this is not like this is not a just one thing. I mean, Gwyneth also has her little diet. I don't know if you guys heard it. So Gwyneth Paltrow came out with this podcast
Okay.
where she tells you how she does in a day. So what she eats, what she does. So she pretty much starts in the morning with. She believes in intermittent fasting.
Okay.
So she has fasting the night off. So when she wakes up, she only drinks coffee because she doesn't want to be bloated,
Okay.
which is also not true because coffee does bloat you.
Coffee is also dehydrating, and it's
Yeah.
like,
So and
it's a
also, I mean, but that's the problem. She's not a medical expert, right? So
Yeah.
this is her lifestyle that she's
Yes.
selling as a influencer and also like as a goop.
diuretic. I mean, see,
As a goob?
Goop.
Goop.
Her brand.
her brand. The thing is, diets I'm very skeptic about because every individual is different. Like we were talking about this earlier today, right? The body structure is different, how your metabolism is different. All these things play into what
works for you
Yeah.
doesn't work for someone else.
Exactly.
Well, that's the
100%
thing
fact.
too. It's
Exactly.
just like her biggest meal is like lunch. So like she says she does intermittent fasting. She has coffee in the morning. She works out. She does whatever she has, and then for lunch, that's when she has like her big
The
meal
bigger
is
meal,
milk.
yeah.
And then after that, she pretty much goes on IV nutrients every day. And it's like that's not sustainable. And there's a joke now, just like to be a multimillionaire and you still can't afford food, right?
Oh my God.
Kind of thing. It's just like you've
Wow.
become to the level of money that
Have you-
you cannot afford a banana,
I was
right?
gonna say, have you heard that story? So this guy, this American businessman goes to somewhere in South America. We'll just make it up, right? So South America goes to the beach town, and there's a farmer or the fisherman who's taking people out on the boat and coming back, right? And the businessman gets very excited. He says, I'll invest in your business. Then you'll have, I says, okay, then what will happen? I said, then you'll have more boats. It's like, okay, then what will happen? Then you can fish more, right? You'll have more fish. Okay, then what happens? Oh, then you can export it and you can earn lots of money. Okay, then what happens? Then you can then retire and be in a boat and just, it's like, that's exactly
That's
what I'm
what I
doing
do.
right now.
Yeah. So it's just like this idea of just like, more money, more problems kind of. But it's also, that's the thing that I'm trying to say. It's just like, I do think that like, there's always going to be diehard fans, right?
Yes.
Where they follow
Regardless.
regardless, it doesn't
Regardless,
matter.
yes.
And that's why influencers are so big because there is some part of us that like glamorize that life and we do feel like maybe if we have some part of it, like maybe we can get like some part of their life. That there is a true reality
Yeah.
for that. But I feel like where is the responsibility though?
Oh, yes.
In
Like
a
where
way.
responsibility lies
Yeah.
for that sort of
For-
platform and
yeah.
like that sort of
And we
It's
all know that
responsible,
like
yeah.
social media is like, I mean, let's face it, like I'm 40 and I'm like obsessed with it really. But like even younger generations, they're definitely in their phones. This is like, you know what I mean? This is who they follow, who this is what they think like, oh, this is the standard of beauty, or is this like actually normal?
Also, people like put standards on themselves based off of those people. Like, this
Oh,
is
yes.
how I want to be,
Yes.
or this is how I want to act.
Yes.
So you have to, I feel like, somewhat be more considerate of your actions when you do have that sort of
Yeah.
influence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, see, it's natural for us to look for an ideal or somebody to follow. That's natural.
Yeah.
But if you are the person other people are following, then there's responsibility. Then you have responsibility for all these people who trust you.
Yeah. And that's
So
what I'm trying to say. It's just like, we're always going to be drawn to successful and rich people
course.
because
Yeah,
that's what we all want to attain in our life.
Yeah.
But that's why I said it's just like, where do you draw the line of like the talent, right? And also
Versus
like,
crime.
yeah, and also like, because like if you think about it, like if that was like your family or friends, like if that person is the one that beat up their significant others or friends or anything, if you're friends with that girl, like you would stop associating with that person, or like even if you're family, you will.
Yes.
I mean, of course, there's some family where like that behavior is acceptable, but I feel now there's more people are more vocal about it, and they're more, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like they try to fight that stereotypes or like that kind of abuse or any negative
Or
connotations.
like speak out at
Yeah,
least.
exactly.
And make it aware.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or so if you have like, or if you have a friend that tells you like, oh, you know, I'm just in IV every day. You, at least you gotta tell them to their face. I'm like, dude, that's not healthy.
It's
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're insane. Like, go to the doctors. Like, I
Yeah.
think you have like an eating disorder. But you know what I mean? But like, that's, I think also there's this problem of like everybody thinks they have a voice. Everybody thinks like they can be a podcast, and not necessarily all voices should be treated the
The
same.
same.
You know,
Yes.
like they don't have the same validity to them. And that's why like I said, it's just like I'm not saying that like, you know, celebrities or them shouldn't live their lives, but they're so out of touch to reality. That's what there's like they don't know the line between what they're selling, right? Because they do
Yes.
because Gwyneth has goop,
Uh-huh.
you know, and it's like, you know, that eventually it's like you are molding young minds,
Oh, yes.
right?
Yes.
Because then they're thinking like, oh,
Yeah.
this is how I
This
become
is-
successful,
yeah.
is to like not have a banana and a coffee and IV like every
Or
oh,
to look like that person or something like
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's just like I like, and that's why like I know like I'm definitely like on like the crazy side of the scale, because like sometimes there are movies. Okay, for example, I don't like Chris Pratt. Okay, people can kill me for that. Okay, but I love Jack Black. And I love Ann Taylor because I watch her in that chess show. But anyways, like I look at the trailer and I'm like, well, I want to see it. It's a Mario movie. I like Mario. I grew up in Mario. I love Jack Black. I love
Yeah.
Ann Taylor. I want to support it. But I don't want to support Chris Pratt. You know, so it's like, do people that I want to support outweigh the people that I don't want to support? Because then also, like, you know how they say it's just like, you know, money talks. And that's why, like, you know, some celebrities do spout things and then they kind of retract. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that's not like, you know, I was misquoted. You know what I mean? Like, I was misquoted. And at the time, I did not, I was working and I did not sleep. And I have said things that, like, I did
shouldn't
not
have
mean. I
said.
was on medication. You know,
It
it's
was
just,
medication.
yeah, it's just like, you know, like people, like, at the beginning of, like, the 2000s, they were just like, I was in Xanax. And, like, at the time, I didn't, like, you know, I have, like, said things that I did not mean at the moment because I was drugged out, you know, blah, 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 blah. Because eventually they start losing roles,
Of course,
right?
yeah.
They start because that's
That's their livelihood.
that's their
right? So
livelihood.
That's their livelihood.
So like, where do you draw the line of like, okay, you know what, I'm not gonna support this person, but that's a problem too. It's just like that's what they do for a living, right?
So I think there's a fine line, right? So there are several examples of people who have a very public, you know, like they're a movie artist or they're, you know, whatever. They have a public figure, but then they keep their private lives to themselves, right? So if you're choosing to expose your private life to the public, then you have to take responsibility for it also. Right? So
And the
if you're-
influence that it has.
the
And it comes
influence
with.
it has, exactly.
I think
exactly,
also
yeah.
like the annoying thing to me is like when they're like, well, I was canceled. Like it's just like that's not a thing. You weren't canceled. It's called consequences.
It's got consequences.
You know, because they're like,
got
but what about but what about Second Amendment? And I'm like, I'm sorry for the rest of us. Like, I can't go to work and say that crazy stuff like that. I will get
Exactly.
fired.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, unless like
Yeah,
I
there's
own.
consequences to
there's
regular
consequences.
people and
Yeah.
rules and guidelines.
So like when they
So-
say, it's just like, I was canceled. I'm like, you weren't canceled. That's not a real word. I mean, I know it's like a thing now, but it's like you weren't canceled. It was consequences because you're spouting up ridiculous stuff. Because like, first of all, Google, like, you can literally Siri the shenanigan. Ask Siri, should I say this out loud? And Siri probably like, no, keep it to yourself. Or you know what I
Siri.
mean? Or like Google
Ask
something.
ChatGPT.
Exactly. Ask ChatGPT. It's like, is this inappropriate for a blog? Maybe not. And it's just so funny because like sometimes, you know, they will say some stuff and they're just like, I don't understand why I was canceled for that. I'm like, there was another celebrity that said the same exact thing. Did you not see that in the movies? You should Google that because it was the same exact quote. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I feel like there's also like, there's because it's both sides, right? Fans will be like, oh, they're just being themselves. They're being penalized for being the person that they are. It's not their fault that they're rich and famous, right?
It's not their fault.
It's not the fault. No, it was planned.
There is. But I think I think a lot of people make fun of the Kardashians, but like they really are the example of like there is no bad publicity. Publicity is
yes.
publicity. Because we talk about it, we still talk about them.
We're talking about it here.
We're talking about it here, you know what I mean? But like that's how they make their money. That's how people talk about them, so they never really lose their spotlight.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's just like, but now with like the age of social media and everything, like you can't just be saying random stuff that has
Or
like
doing.
that has
Or
actual
doing, yeah.
or like real act like real life consequences. Like telling younger girls to like you can sustain every day with an IV. I'm like, I can't. I gotta go to work. Also, I don't have a nanny. I don't have a personal chef to cook my food.
Yes.
Right? I don't even have a person that blends my fruits and vegetables for a smoothie. Gwen has one of those. She literally doesn't do anything. She's like a bazillion assistants. I don't have a bazillion assistant. I mean, I have my husband,
I was gonna say.
but he still has to work on the weekdays. You
He
know,
still has to work on it.
I can
He
only
has to do his other thing on the
I can
weekday.
only use him on the weekends at the most.
He works 7 days a week, but 2 days for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he has this other job, right? The 5 days a week.
Yeah. So, and I think like also because like it is kind of funny too. It's just like some parts of me is just like, how dumb of you to like actually put it like it doesn't matter who you are, right? Once you put it out there in the internet, it is out.
It's
Yeah,
gonna stay
they're
forever.
taking it
It's
back.
gonna
And
stay
it's just like,
forever.
and people are like, I can't believe I got judged by that. I'm like, but you put it out there.
Yeah.
Like once you put it out there, you are going to be judged. Like that's what you do when you decided like this is gonna be my people now. This is where the poll is gonna be. This is the standard now. You know what I mean? It's like once you do that, you're just asking. It's the internet.
It's asking for trouble. You're
Yeah.
asking for trouble.
There's no gatekeeping in the internet. There's no way. Unless you
Yeah.
have like
And there's always going to be someone who likes you, your fan group. There's also going to be a group of people who don't like you.
You're always
that
gonna
are
have haters and
easily
lovers.
going to get ready to jump at any mistake that you make. So
Yeah.
but yeah.
somebody
mean-
that's willing to take your spot too,
Yes.
you know.
I was going to say, like, not to say that, oh, you can't make mistakes or you're not allowed to make mistakes, but mistakes have to be.
Caution.
Like, you have to
Be
think
cautious.
through. You have to think through what you're doing. right,
And also
before-
not do
yeah,
the
it's
same
like-
thing over. I think that's the thing too. It's just like, and also I hate the passive aggressive apologies where they don't really apologize. Like, it's just like, I've stated some
I
things.
regret what I've done.
Yeah. Or like I have stated some stuff in the article that was kind of taken out of context. I'm like, it wasn't taken out of context. You know what I mean? Also apologize for the actual thing. Not
Yes.
like going around
Around it,
apologies.
yeah.
Actually apologize like, hey, guess what? I was being racist. That's not cool. It's 2023. Apologize for that. You're gonna get a backlash, but at least
We
you're
can move on
yeah.
from there.
At least like you're being human about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Being genuine.
You have
Yeah.
Being genuine.
You have to take responsibility, I think, is the first step.
Well, the other thing also, sometimes what happens is people think that the audience is dumb and they cannot feel you. But if you're genuine, people can feel you.
Yeah.
And if you're superficial, people can feel you too.
I mean, it's the
There's
same
no-
thing
Yeah,
in
they'll
real
understand.
life,
Yeah.
right? It's just like if I have a friend who keeps like using me and never really apologizes, eventually I'm gonna sever the ties.
Okay, yeah.
So like I think we're more forgiving of like our celebrities and influencers because they do affect our life, but not enough, right? There's
Yeah.
still like a separation,
Correct.
right? So it's just like, yeah, I think it's like it's definitely an interesting time. Sometimes my husband is a little bit behind, and I'm just like, Grandpa, this is our life now. This is gonna be because like I tell her, this is gonna be our daughter's
Daughter's
life. So you
life,
gotta
yeah.
gotta keep up, okay? Because like this is not our life. But then by the time our daughter comes, that's our life now.
Yeah,
You know
all
what
of
I
a
mean?
sudden
We-
it is your life.
We become second-class citizen, okay? That's like I always joke him. I'm like, I become second-class citizen in this house. Second-class citizen. Because like he always like he monitors my bathroom breaks. Because like, did you pee today? Because it feels like if I don't pee enough, I'm not pregnant. So it's like, did you pee already? And I'm like, it's been 45 minutes. I don't doubt I will be due soon. So I'm like, I become a second-class citizen now.
Huh.
So it's just like, I think it is definitely interesting because like of social media and also like the way we are obsessed and attached to our phones and
Yeah,
our
I
also
think
devices.
something's got to give. I don't think this is sustainable for humanity in general. I think something's got to give at some point.
I mean, that's what our
There's-
grandpa thought, but I mean,
No,
come on.
No,
Now we're flying in hoverboards and stuff in the water, you know. I don't think they were thinking about that.
No, so actually, there are a couple of tech companies who are coming out with sort of non-tech phones where there are no apps other than like just you can call on them, you can SMS, you can take some notes, you can do calendar.
But that's
it.
why the
I like it's like
Montessori.
a work phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
but I mean,
personal.
some people, actually some people are choosing to do those kind of phones.
So
because-
your work can't get in touch with you.
Personal phone.
No, for
Personal
like,
phone, yeah.
I think like I don't know if you guys are aware of like the Montessori style for like schooling now,
Yeah.
and like that's like gaining a lot of momentum.
Yes.
Because Montessori is all about like wooden toys and like non-technology stuff.
Correct.
So I do think that like some people, I mean, it can get definitely technology overload.
It can get overloaded. Yeah.
It does.
So the other thing is also there are a lot of people who are doing these digital detoxes, and like there'll be an organized retreat where you go and there's no access to technology, and then you can just chill out in
I
nature.
see what
like
you
that,
mean. Yeah.
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 Like
Fasting for
get
your
in touch with your.
Get in touch with yourself.
Oh,
With
that
your
makes
inner
sense.
being. Yes.
But that is our show for today. And for any local businesses or any businesses in general, if you guys want to be featured or if you like to sponsor our show or you would you like to be a guest, you can pretty much visit us, email us in our website and our email, and we will see you guys next week.
Ciao.